welcome to Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. Yeah, we actually found some new stuff for this. Well, we found new stuff. We incorporated some new stuff actually here at ESA. I'm going to maybe try some of it, I guess, depending on how far ahead or far behind I am. So we'll take a look at it. Also, for the people that want to count the log for a strat that's going to be coming up soon, please at least look at the timer on screen and don't like make up your own seconds. But apart from that, yeah, I think I'm ready to go. So yeah, in 3, 2, 1, go. So right off the bat, first thing you do is you can kick this guy in the face to mess up his animation, so he just kind of awkwardly stands there. Also, I don't know, the game might be a little bit dark on stream. It usually is that for me at home whenever I stream it, so if you want to be able to see properly, then upping the brightness might probably be a thing.
No, it's called Dark Messiah.
Hello?
It unbound your E key. Plus use. Live scripting, don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
We did it.
Easy.
Good job.
Off to a good start. This game has sometimes an issue where it just unbinds your stuff. Happens every once in a while at home as well.
Yeah, so this is basically like the tutorial level of the game, where you like learn all the mechanics. For example, like the chain climbing and kicking and whatever.
Kicking and using objects and stuff. Yeah. I guess an important thing to know is this game runs on the Source engine, so the exact same engine as Half-Life and other Valve games. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff sort of like bunny hopping. We're going to be using sword boosting, which is the sort of movement mechanic that we made for the speedrun, which incorporates like the power attacks that you use for most of the items. The sword boosting we're not going to be using too much because a little bit later we'll be getting the daggers, which is a little bit faster for movement. Can you please get down here, sir? Thank you.
So yeah, we need zombie down here, so the game continues basically.
Yeah, if the zombie's still at the top, then he will just immediately teleport you back to the top.
I mean, that's like an item clip, or what do we call this anymore?
Just a barrel clip, I guess, these days. We're going to be doing those a couple of times throughout the run, where we grab an item, take it with us, and then throw it at a specific angle, and it'll just clip us through doors.
Yeah, the game thinks you're stuck, and it just puts you behind the wall.
Yep. It's pretty useful for a lot of areas. So in this upcoming load trigger, I'm going to be doing a trick that sort of bugs out the game, because normally the next level starts on top of a horse. But if you do some pause, quick save, quick load shenanigans, then you'll just bug it out and be completely loose from the horse, and you can just run around. Then right after that, I'm going to be doing a trick called pause launching, which is whenever you stand on an edge in this game, you'll slowly gain a little bit of speed. But if you then pause the game while on that ledge, you will build up more and more speed over time. So the longer you pause, the more speed you'll get, which we're going to be using to, as you probably guessed, launch over very long distances. So this is where I'm doing the pause, quick save, quick load stuff. Now we're free. Here's the first launch of the game. This might take 1 or 2 tries, but hopefully I'll get it pretty quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's been pretty
hole in one. Oh, hey. Nice. Got the hole in one as well.
You get that bread.
I'm actually really happy that I got that first try. The pause launches in this game can be quite finicky and weird to do. That barrel placement might be a little off. Yeah, well, the throw didn't work anyways, so it didn't matter. Yeah, what I tried to do there is you can sort of do like a very small barrel clip, which is just a small optimization to save like a couple seconds there, but it's fine. So here we're going to do a flip where there's a little window here you can jump out of. Do another pause launch from this invisible wall. This is about 6 seconds, and I'm not counting, so I'm just going. Yeah, easy. No need to count.
Yeah, so the way the pause launching works is like the game, when you're on an edge, it gives you some speed to like fall off it. And if you pause, you keep gaining that speed the game gives you. And when you actually do release the pause, it all comes down at once, basically.
Yeah. What we're doing there is we're using the hay bale because the end level trigger is sort of up in the air. So I bring that hay bale with me to throw it onto the ground and then jump off of it into the next area. Also, this is a very important strat.
Kicking the guy?
This poor peasant man.
Trying to help you, but...
I mean, he's disturbing my nap. I mean, how dare he? Yeah, that's another example of the barrel clip, which we'll be using here to pretty much skip this entire level. Normally you need to go into this castle mansion thing, but we're just going to do a clip, climb up here, jump down to this almost non-existent tree, and then, yeah, that was the entirety of Chapter 2. This is sort of a chase sequence where you need to chase down a little goblin, or ghoul, I guess, technically, this little naked spandex boy, where you're just going to go to the end level and just ignore him completely. This trick is a little bit difficult. You want to do what's called a double dagger boost, which is the movement mechanic using the daggers, but using 2 swipes to gain the optimal amount of speed, which hopefully I'll be able to get in a couple tries, but it's a little difficult. Also, you might be noticing every time I load a quick save, I do a little jump. There is a bug in this game where there's about a 50-50 chance that whenever you load a save, that your very first jump input will be just dropped completely, and you just won't jump at all. Very cool. Hey, it's a 2-second launch there. A little awkward to do, but we did it. Also, for this next area, you can use a barrel here to clip inside this next warehouse, but I'm going to use this box here because it's pretty much 100% consistent, and the barrel, at least for me, doesn't seem to be. Never mind.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
good
cool.
old,
Very
shots.
cool clip. Okay, got there. But yeah, there's a barrel next to it, which technically is faster, but yeah, I like my box more.
If you get yourself killed, your father.
Also, throughout the run, we're going to be picking up a whole bunch of mana potions, which we're going to be using for a bunch of spells later, namely telekinesis. We're also going to be using this ring right here, which gives us a little bit more maximum mana,
Yeah.
so we have a little bit more space to play around with.
So this game has like a little bit of like mana management and item management as well. So it's kind of cool to like having to pick up stuff as well.
Yeah, there's a couple times in the run where we can sort of maybe skip a potion or not, but it also is a little bit random how much mana you use throughout the run. Mainly because especially the liches at the end of the game that we're going to be fighting, the amount of hits that they take with telekinesis is, I think, random. I haven't really figured out why that is. Sometimes they take 4 rocks to the face, sometimes it's just 1, so sometimes you have to like go off and get a couple extra potions.
And there's so much going on like there, like you just picked up like a box through the wall as well. So good game, by the way.
There's many things. Oh no! Oh, make it!
Oh, so close.
Damn. But here we're just launching onto this ship to also skip this entire level so you don't have to go inside. Should be good. Nice. So here, we're just gonna get this box. The end level trigger is right below us, but so we're just gonna attempt to clip in here. This is also one of the more difficult clips that don't
Yeah,
always want
this is
to
a tricky one. Sometimes it
cooperate.
works.
Just be ready when the game plan goes.
Okay.
Try
It's
the
also great when you
black
get
spot.
stuck on it. Huh?
Try the black spot.
Black spot?
No?
What?
It was like 5 centimeters to your left. So you
There's
basically
like
just
the
did it.
entire floor is like black spots. What do you mean?
There's
That one right there. Wow.
There's one specific one I use. It usually works.
But yeah, now there's going to be like a long 1-minute cutscene where normally you'll be talking to an NPC called Liana in this room, but she's still like at the docks waiting for us to go on board. But she's just sort of talking to herself over there. If you turn up your game volume, you can just hear her in the distance. Otherwise, we're just talking to this brother thing, I guess. Also, the voice inside our head.
Yeah, and in this game also you also have like skills. So you hear like you're doing some menuing to get like some.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it's
getting
like speed
right there.
stuff.
I'm getting telekinesis, which I mentioned earlier, which we'll be using to fight the liches and just otherwise also just pick up some items that are further away, and then stamina just so I can sprint a little bit further, making stamina management a little bit easier. But further on in the run, I'm going to be getting Sanctuary, which is a spell that essentially just allows you to become immune to all damage, which is normally magic damage, sword attacks, arrows, that sort of thing, but it actually also makes you immune to fall damage. So whenever we need to fall off like a super high ledge or anything like that, just pop Sanctuary and then easy peasy, no problem. So after this little cutscene is done here, there's going to be a launch that goes from this beach and then to a way further back point in this temple area, which can be a little bit tricky, but I sort of have a safety spot that I can go for. Yeah, go ahead.
Monojira donated $10. 5, 7, 4, 8. Just kidding. Best of luck, Crow, and don't forget to pour it up.
Thank you, my friend. Always pour it up.
Almost timed it right too.
Here's the launch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, that's not gonna work. Okay, we're going for the safety one instead. Normally what you want to do is land through that little window up there, which is the fastest route, but we're just gonna land on safety mountain instead, just to avoid death. So here we're gonna take this barrel and do another clip over here. I had a little bit of trouble in practice with this one, so
Clip.
sad.
Too bad.
What was it you guessed? First try this
first
one,
try.
5th try gems, and then something else for the other stuff?
Yeah, pick up the rock instead of the mushroom.
I'm gonna try doing this instead. Sometimes, apparently, if you have a barrel in your hands, when you load a save, there are a bunch of the clips that just are less consistent. I think Yalter told me that, which sounds weird. I don't know why that is, but
There we
hey,
go.
got there. Is that Levi's keyboard? I hear a very loud keyboard in my headphones.
And yeah, you hear against like climbing bounds, like
Yeah, you spawn out of bounds there, so sick hops, dude. Normally you can do like a really good dagger boost chain there to get up to that ledge there, but didn't really do it very well, so we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way.
in here as well, like we're skipping like a whole chapter basically, if this works.
So this bug is a little bit, or glitch I guess, is kind of interesting. We're gonna grab a barrel here and do a barrel clip, but hopefully if this man doesn't block us. The way that it works is that you're supposed to take an item, get it stuck inside that gate, and then when you use a barrel clip right next to it, it'll clip you to the other side. Maybe if this man's would leave me alone.
Yeah, these ogres like bully you quite a bit here.
Excuse me, sir. Could
You
you?
might have messed up the food too. Oh,
No,
it's
food is
still-
fine.
Still fine.
Got there.
There we go.
Nice. So the way that it works is, as Elgar explained earlier, with the clips is sort of that you get stuck in the item and then the game tries to displace you. There, the game tries to displace you in the middle of the gate, which is why we sort of block that off with that book there, so that it teleports you to the other side instead. Here we're just gonna jump up this beam, which is a thing. Also, the top half of this gate doesn't exist, so we're just gonna stand here. And we're gonna do a little strafe jump over to this edge over here. Normally this is like a very long dungeon where you need to collect a whole bunch of gems for the statue down here, but 2 of them are just in that statue for some reason.
Yeah, and they're basically like, I think like debug regions set there, and yeah, you can just pick them up by leaning into the pillar. So
What I'm trying to do here is, like I said, you normally need 3, but I only have 2 in my inventory right here. So we're trying to essentially trick the game by inputting 2 gems on 1 in-game tick. So the game thinks we put in 2, even though we technically only put in 1. We just put in 1 twice.
Yeah, tick is basically a frame in this game.
So here we just, during that little cutscene before it teleports us back up again, we're going to get a 4th gem, which normally is what starts the entire dungeon. But we're going to go over here and then, go get a mushroom from this other room over here, which will come in handy a little bit later in the run. Let's see if I get the rock. Oh, nice. I have no mana. No rock, only shroom.
I've been wrong with everything.
It's here. Beyond that
So here, this is the last boss of this entire dungeon. But if you just lean into this wall, there's just a lever that just ends the level,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah, basically.
Very
I
cool
think,
game.
I think it's like a skull like dropping down at the end of the fight, and the skull is just inside the pillar, so you can just like
Probably, yeah.
trigger the end, like end of that map like that.
So for the start of this level, we've sort of been killed and revived, I guess. So all of our gear is gone, so we need to go and retrieve that. So at the very beginning here, we don't have our daggers or our swords or anything, so it's just me and my sick b-hop skills. Please look away.
You also have demon powers now, I think.
Yeah, you can turn into a demon, which increases your FOV, so everybody thinks it's faster, but
Yeah.
it's not. It just hurts your head. Oh,
You look
sick.
speedy.
The orcs took all your equipment.
Ouch. Fire.
Let's show them that they've made a little mistake.
Right, this next room over here, there's going to be a little ledge. I'm going to try to go for it once. Maybe if I can get it. Oh, no. Never mind. It's like a slight little time save you can get there where if you grab that ledge, you can go into this room here on the left a different way, but instead I'm just going to take the normal way, which is just by unlocking that gate from the wrong side.
Yeah. You have to like hit the trigger first before you can unlock that gate. So that's why he just like backtrack a little bit there.
Yep. It's kind of weird how that works.
Yeah.
So here there's a little bit of, I guess, semi-new tech, where normally in this room we would be doing a pause launch, but instead we're going to be doing some like Naruto moves right here.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
First try. Woohoo.
That beast looks familiar.
A little bit of poor stamina management, but yeah. The double dagger boosting, ever since that was found, we sort of started using it a lot of different places to see where we can implement that to skip a lot of things, because pause launches, as fast as they are, it's also kind of slow because you are just, pausing and standing still. So it's a little time consuming. Right, this next launch is a little bit finicky. Also my stamina movement is A+. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, nice. Ooh, perfect. That was actually one of the more difficult launches that usually can be a little bit finicky because sometimes it's 7 seconds and you launch into space, or sometimes it's 7 seconds and you barely go anywhere. I'm pretty happy I got that one first try. Here's another one that's also semi-new with a decent setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5-ish. Oh, perfect. Nice.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of little like minor movement tech stuff you can do. You can see like right there before I went into that window, I did a forward stab kind of thing. If you do that before you hit the free fall animation, you can sort of negate fall damage a little bit. But it's kind of precise and a little finicky to do, but it makes sense. But that's where I got the Sanctuary skill, and then there's going to
And
be...
I guess this is the biggest pulse launch there is in this game.
Pretty much, yeah. It's 12 seconds just to launch to the very top of this really tall room here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So normally it would take like this long elevator ride
perfect.
up.
Yeah. These pause launches have been going pretty well,
Yeah,
actually.
this-
I'm
Yeah, this
really
was a tricky one too.
Super good.
Like you need to stray fast enough to not hit your head.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is one of those tunnels where if you have sick movement, you can do some, well, not that. You can do some good bunny hop chains to just keep your speed all the way through. Oh, sick. I'm going to blame the jump bug. But yeah, now that we have Sanctuary, we can just fall off of big buildings like this one, just take
Zero
absolutely
damage.
zero fall damage. Skip through this area, there's a bunch of fights, but we don't care. Right here, there's going to be like an Indiana Jones style boulder thing, but we're just going to jump over the trigger. Normally this top wall would just open and a giant boulder would come out, but yeah, we're just going to run past it.
I like how you point at the screen.
Huh? Yeah,
like
I
how you
mean,
pointed.
yeah, it's right there, dude. Can't see. Everybody else can see, right? So here, another double dagger boost to get up here. Normally in the game you would have what's called a rope bow at this point, which is, yeah, it's a bow that shoots a rope. But you would use that to climb a whole bunch of the terrain to normally reach super high up places, like climb around. But ever since pause launching was found, and especially also with dagger boosting, you can use that in a lot of the places where we used to use the rope bow. Because otherwise we would have to go out of our way to go get that and then go back again, and it's just also slower because you need to shoot the rope and then hopefully not get glitched out of bounds by the rope. So
Yeah.
it's a finicky item, and it's really good that we got rid of it.
We should take the shipment, please. Maybe the silver
Yeah, it's a bit long cutscene, but
Yeah.
one of the few ones.
There's like 2-3-ish minute long cutscenes.
Yeah.
There was the one where we were on the boat talking to a rudder for a minute, and now there's
This one.
our boy Duncan here, which is nice enough to pick us up on the beach, and then he's going to take us to the city, and then we're going to ignore him when he dies.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
And so you begin to build your army.
Reminds me of Dishonored. Please watch that run, everyone.
Yeah, it's going to come up pretty soon. This is the longest chapter in the game. It's about 10 seconds.
Speedy chapter.
The end level trigger is almost right next to where you start, so you just go into this corner, you just chuck a barrel, and then, yeah, level's done.
Done.
Easy.
Yeah.
That was chapter 8. Normally you need to go through the sewers, like enter a portal into like some necromancer castle, dungeon, evil villain lair type place, but nah, don't need to go there. This trick that I'm going to do here is a little bit finicky. We're going to jump against the corner of this little hole here, which hopefully will work.
Yeah, it's very hard to do actually.
Yeah, it's finicky. Because if I go too far up this ladder, I'm going to activate the cutscene with dunking here, which takes also about 30 seconds. So if I can get it soon, that would be pretty cool.
Like basically all around the when you climb up, there's like triggers that start like cutscene. So doing this just like skips it completely.
You're right. The skull is the only thing that matters. You're right. The skull is the only thing that matters.
It's a little weird because you sort of need to get stuck in the left corner where you can do the thing that we've been doing previously in the run, just, you know, jumping up against random corners and edges, and you'll just be able to go up.
Right. The skull is the only thing that matters.
Close.
You're right.
I can't wait to get up and then accidentally hit the trigger anyways.
You're right. The skull is the only thing that matters.
Also, shoutouts to Walrus for letting me borrow his mouse.
You're right. The skull is the only thing that matters. You're right.
Oh, cool.
You're right. The skull is the only thing that matters.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Yes.
Alright, got there. So this is where we use that mushroom that we picked up earlier, because if you just pause the game and then throw away an item, quick save, quick load, then it'll just be hovering in the air. And, oh Jesus Christ.
Oh.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. So here we're going to activate this little cutscene. Now normally you need to wait for Percy in there to finish his dialogue, so while he does that, we're just going to be running around collecting some items. I'm going to be going and getting my potion back. Or not my potion, my magic shroom. Don't do shrooms, kids.
Tell me quickly.
The shroom is great for launches because it's the object is slightly curved on top, so it launches you more upwards instead of just forwards.
Full health potion comes in handy when you have 6 HP left. Thank you, blessed health potion. Also, if you jump on any of these people, they get very upset and you lose the mission, so
Save your strength.
I have a bad habit of just running around and then Mario booping this guy's head. So here you normally need to escort this guy named Percy all the way through this courtyard. There's like a giant Cyclops type thing that you need to fight, but if you just lean through the wall and get that key for the house, then just open the door, just run through. Although we still do need to wait for him, so while I'm waiting for him here, I'm just gonna go get some items.
Yeah, like casually, there's like 2 routes to this mission or map. You can either kill the Cyclops or find this secret route, which is the getting the key.
Yeah, I think there's actually a third one. There's like a little tunnel down there where you can jump through and then crawl out of this sewer. I've never done it, so it's just there. So yeah, we're just waiting for this guy to hurry up. This is where you used to have the ropo, so you could like shoot at these people as they're running by, just to have something to do.
There's a teleport, right?
Yeah, little trick here where if you just, when this guy goes on the ladder, you just shank him once, you just...
Teleports to the end destination of his route.
Yeah, and he's
There
just
he is.
right here holding the door open for us. What a nice guy.
Yeah, here comes the new thing.
How I'm not gonna try it.
Oh,
It's super finicky. It's essentially where we do the mushroom freeze in the air trick, and then we need to do a pause launch, hit or like thread a needle between like 2 invisible walls, and then as we're flying, do a 180 and pick up the mushroom with our telekinesis and land on a pixel walk while we're in a free fall animation, which locks all of our controls so we can't move.
As you said, we copied it from a segmented run. So.
Yeah, it's difficult to do, and I probably shouldn't attempt it here at a marathon. It only saves like 5 seconds, so it's not really worth it to do anyways at a marathon. Obviously, if you're consistent on it, it's very cool. So for this level, we're going to be taking this hay bale here. We're going to be chucking it in the water here because we're going to need it to do a clip in the next map. So we're going to do a double dragon boost here. Pick up the hay bale, bounce it on our head, pick it up, clip through here, pick it up. Sadly, there isn't actually any hay bales in the next level, so we need to just bring this one with us. That's dark, is it there? Yeah, I got it, okay. Sometimes this game can get very dark and you're just kind of like staring at your screen like, am I holding it?
I think you're normally supposed to use like one of your skills to like see, but we just have the contrast like way up, so we should be able to see everywhere.
There it is.
We go.
It's also one of those where you're just sort of spamming telekinesis into the water until you pick up your hay bale. Alright, so this is a Paukai. It's the most annoying enemy in the whole game. He shoots lightning at you. But the main problem with that is we can survive it pretty easily, but we need to get an item stuck in this wall, and if the Paukai hits it with his lightning, it'll actually make the item fall back down again. So we need to set it up again, but thankfully we got it first try.
Nice.
Alright, don't shoot me. Nice, easy.
So again,
nice.
trigger skip there.
Yeah, normally there's a, you need to go all the way around to open that giant gate right there. Then you need to kill the Paukai with a ballista, but we're just skipping all of that. Then after you get into this room, the reason why I sort of froze the key in the air there to jump over it is because right when you get through the door, there's a trigger for a cutscene that starts a mini boss fight with someone called Liana. It was the lady you saw earlier who's become evil because we'd never saved her, but we never saw her get kidnapped, so... It's fine. So here we just bring the hay bale with us to do a little clip. There we go. But yeah, that also just skips a whole bunch right there. Like normally you need to open the gate manually by turning the wheel, but with the clip there, then you just do it instantly.
So this is the last chapter.
Where we're going to be using the sanctuary a whole bunch. I actually have a bunch of mana potions to spare, so I think actually will be good for once. There's a little finicky jump where you can jump up here. Nice.
Also, time might be coming up in a minute.
Yeah, like 2 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There is the infamous Liches fight where during my PB they T-posed at me and then my game crashed.
Oh right, the Liches, I forgot about those.
They did the big power move. So here we need to kill these vampire knights because the trigger to open the next level is tied to them being alive. So there's like 3 or 4 of them in that room, but if you kill 2 of them, then this gate will open. Alright, do not T-pose at me. Don't do it. Okay, no
So,
T-pose.
best
Good.
weapon in the game, basically a rock. You just throw it at the leeches.
Oh, you're not
and
dead? Hello?
You can get like a one-hit kill, I think.
Hello?
That's the best
Die?
one.
Yeah, it's the thing we mentioned earlier where these guys can just sometimes take 1 hit or they can take like 20. You never know, so you just keep chucking rocks at them until they die. But yeah, it's fine. We have a trillion mana potions, so for this we are A-okay. But yeah, time coming up in about 30 seconds-ish. So the final boss is going to come up right here. Normally it's a super long boss fight where you need to fight this guy, fight a bone dragon, but if you just sort of ignore him, pick up the skull and just put it back down again, we're done. And time.
Good run.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, it was pretty good. Apart from the Duncan skip with like jumping out of the sewer hole, it was actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
some hiccups,
that was
but
really
good run overall.
This good launches at least, like
Very
I
good
think
for
everything was like
Yeah. The actual really finicky stuff, which was the launches, were actually surprisingly well, so I'm really happy about that. I think this is the first marathon run of DMOM that actually went sort of well. There
was recorded.
Yeah.
and recorded.
The ESA run from 2 years ago just got deleted. Never existed. There was the SGU run where I was not sober. among other things. So yeah, good run.
Pretty good.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and yeah,